producer got to produce. Mm-hmm.
I'm about to start the theme music. I'll give you a cue. You ready? Hold on. I didn't give you a cue yet. I just want to know if you're ready.
What's up, everybody?
Your little gunshot today?
No, that ain't nothing. I'm making sure that everybody is on cue and on point. If you're hearing me and you're seeing me, you know I am D Woods.
What's happening? It's your girl, Lady LYFE.
And we are
Creative
Creative
Culture.
Culture. We just got so good with that.
We getting better.
The cues is on point, other than
Yeah.
you and the producer in the back.
Yeah, it's all good.
Growing pains is what they call it. So, lady, how was your week?
Uh, ooh, I know I say this a lot. It's been pretty busy. I have been really focusing on me and shaping out my goals for the last quarter of
Yeah.
the year. It's taken a lot out of me.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, a lot of mental and searching for mental clarity is what it is. Is because I want to make sure that I'm moving in the right direction before getting into 2020. It's getting a little closer to my birthday season, and so therefore everything is being real introspective. It's interesting. I found out that I'm an architect according to the Myers-Briggs personality test.
Which
So
makes sense. You're a designer.
Everything's coming back full circle because when I initially went off to college, I thought that I was going to be literally an architect. And after my first semester or first year, I was like, maybe not.
Yeah.
However, obviously, it's in my DNA, so to speak. So
Right. Which
it's
I see that.
Yeah.
But I see the architect in you in all that you do throughout your entrepreneur lifestyle. Everything is about design and,
yeah,
but meticulous, like, pieces and how they go together.
right.
It's almost mathematically just like an architect.
I'm glad you can see it.
Well, I'm a visionary, so.
Okay. So, how was your week?
My week was
See, you didn't even have to
fucking
prompt me.
busy. You're right. And I'm glad. Everybody give cheers for Lady. My week was just incredibly busy. To start the week off, I made the initiative to work out a lot in the morning, like get up and go run or do
Okay.
whatever.
I ain't got there yet, but that's on my habits. I'm working on habits.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's about creating those small milestones.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually was on a panel, hosted a discussion, Q&A type of thing with this guy named Lucky, who is another podcaster, and who brought me on the show was Andrea, who has Urban Blossom as her brand
Yeah.
essentially, which was really cool. It was a dope event. You was there. It was my element. All I had to do was like warm myself up to the crowd and the people that I was talking to. And when I got on stage, like every every question felt right. Everything felt good for me to like just exude, right?
So if y'all wondering where we went last week, we were at Sandaga 813 supporting D Woods in the panel. And I thought it was a really good event. There was some
It was
great
just a little
dialogue.
late. Yeah.
That part. Y'all, I'm elderly. So at 10 o'clock, I was like, bed is calling.
Right. The rest of my week was kind of a lot of meetings, a lot of freaking meetings, but it was good. It was good. It was a lot of clarity coming through the week, but it all hit me today, and I was super exhausted. But here we are.
We are here,
grinding it out.
Yep.
So, everybody, welcome to Creative Culture. This segment of Creative Culture is the highlight, lady.
Bling, bling.
This is a short 10 yeah, I like well, maybe like have like to be a a light bulb that go like zzz, zzz. Maybe no.
Sound like you about to electrocute somebody.
Maybe not as
short circuit.
Okay. So anyways, if you don't know, The Highlight is a show I created to help people in transitions, essentially. So today we are going to talk about action. The just do it mentality. So, lady.
Yes.
How in the fuck do we stop planning and preparation and trying to be strategic in what we're doing and implement and start just fucking working? Or before you answer that, okay, don't. Before you answer that, why are people like that?
I can answer for myself.
Yes.
As an architect type personality. I need plans. Plans guide the rest of the situation.
Right.
However, my thing or my gift has been to kind of see things that are puzzling to others a little clearer.
Yeah.
Create some structure in that, and then we can go to work. So I do believe that you need some kind of structure, instruction, something. There's a prerequisite to doing the work.
Right.
If you're like just headstrong on like, I'm just going to run through this wall and there's no plan of attack, you're going to bust your head to the white meat.
Right.
So I think it's important, but I think the bigger question is, or the bigger issue is, you can't spend all day in planning and preparing and analyzing and planning and preparing and analyzing. At some point, you've got to create something. You got to start somewhere, and then you can perfect it over time. Yes,
exactly. I think a plan must be in place, but I think we all get caught up by it not being perfect. I read a few articles, and of course this will go more in depth on my show, but I definitely wanted to bring somebody in like you who we always strategize, even in our business. We strategize, but there hasn't been that much action put towards that. Even me, I procrastinate with strategizing, and that's where you have to draw the line, is when the strategy just becomes a yield sign as opposed to you keeping you moving forward, right? Like you have to stop planning because you can't plan for everything, and you have to just do it. I agree, there's a plan that needs to be in place, but you also just have to fucking do it. Right? So the tips and the steps I have for you guys is the thing that we don't do. We don't prioritize.
Ooh, okay.
So to be actionable, you have to prioritize those actionable items.
I agree.
So that's the first step. The second step is to set measurable milestones. You hear me and Lady talk about milestones. Right. So instead of seeing the end, you see the first mile marker, right? Yeah. The next step. Okay. We want to garner 500 listeners consistently all the time, 500 viewers consistently every single week. We want to gain new followers every single week.
That would mean we would have to be consistently pumping content every single week.
Right. But you would know what that measurable content is, right? Or that measurable milestone is for you.
Right.
And with that, you review. See, the problem is, even if we plan, we set ourselves out, we do the action, we just out here willy-nilly doing it, and we do have a milestone, but we don't learn from the past. So you take that review period and you
Right.
learn from that. So those are the three things that you can like just go out there and do it. I'm not saying don't be strategic. I'm just saying stop being overly strategic about what the fuck you doing.
Understood.
Cool?
It almost sounded like you was about to do a campaign for Nike.
Right.
Tell them to send you a check.
So when I started it off,
Yeah, because you kept saying, just do it. I was like, all right.
well, because
Send the check.
well,
Send Tinker Hatfield, too, so we can create a shoe.
right. Well, like for recollection, we have to continuously, like I say things so you know what it is. Like you already know what just do it is. You know what it means. Just
Yeah.
walk out there and do what you need to do,
Right.
essentially, right? So you put it in the form,
So we
meat and
walking by
potatoes,
faith and
yeah.
not by sight, because
Exactly.
we can't see everything.
Exactly.
Can't see the whole staircase. You just do one step at a time.
Yep.
That was Martin Luther King. I just wanted to,
Give us a quote.
that part and, bring up a great black leader.
Right. This is a
that-
show to do that.
That might be arguable to some, but I still think MLK was great.
I don't see why he wasn't.
Well, because some people will argue like his point of view versus Malcolm X's point of view, and I think they both had good things to bring to the table.
Exactly.
And in the end, Martin started to see it Malcolm's way. It was just a little too late for him to really galvanize and them to work together, I guess.
Yeah, and the government killed him.
Well, both of them.
Right.
Probably because they saw where they were coming on the same page.
They were doing
and was
this.
like,
They had a seat at the table and they
Yeah.
weren't agreeing. And then they
Yeah.
all of a sudden they was like, oh, you know what?
right.
I see your point.
Right, which is going to bring up something in the next segment. I don't know if you got a chance to check out the Revolt Summit.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll get into it. Let me bring up some music here for the listening pleasure.
Right. In the meantime, in between time, while ladies queuing us up, how are you guys doing? Comment below. Let us know. You going? You okay? How was this week for you? Creative culture. What projects are y'all working on? You working on the project? You planning to work on the project? Are you doing anything? I would love to know. So comment below and tell us, what are you doing? Because we want to interact with you and talk to you about your life. That's what the highlight's about.
I need you to keep talking because for whatever reason, my little app always does this when it's time to perform. It starts to act up.
Okay, so
And I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I'm not even going to sit over here and fake it.
well, I'll give light to the panel discussion I was on.
Okay.
A lot of the things that we talked about was a room full of different black people, a diverse group of black people who came together with different views and shared their opinions. And no, we didn't agree. And it reminded me so much of the Revolt Summit.
Yeah.
And if you already have caught wind of the Revolt Summit and, the panel discussion that included Killer Mike and T.I. and Candace Owens and the rest of them.
Yeah, because the rest of them really didn't get their voices heard, but that's okay.
Right. Yes.
In due time.
In due time. That's kind of how the panel discussion was. A lot of things were talked about: homosexuality, heterosexual normatives that we try to conform to, and it was just nice to hear voices, and
Indeed.
to either rebuttal or agree to disagree or agree. A lot of that was cool. But Lady has a queued up music that
This
I can
is
kind of hear.
Talking Shit by our...
That's what I was doing.
Right. By our one of our favorite local artists, LaVoice. We'll let this record ride, y'all, and we'll be back with more creative culture.
If I'm a hustler, your friend, I don't trust her. Hands coming soon, tell the block for I bust her. I don't know a thing to you bitches. Wanna be my friend in the switches. When you see my come up the biggest, I might get my riches the quickest. Get my riches the quickest. Hating assholes, I like every show. Sticking up their nose, cause they know I'm about to blow. I got a thing for you bitches. I've been trying to give out the game to you bitches. Usually calm and collected, but I'm so invested. If this how you feel, nigga, say it with trusting.
Don't ever say, let's get it poppin'.
Every time I hustle, you're praying I'm pressing. It's coming
Stop. Try so hard to be cool, but I know I'm not. Baby, I wanna know. Baby, I wanna know how you make it look easy. Baby, I wanna go from your head to your toe. I'ma make it look easy. Girl, how you doing? It's been a while. I pray it's not too late. It's hot in here, and she almost there.
And we back and we back and we back and welcome. They can't
Somebody
hear you.
gonna get her that song.
I just like to share my tunes and my vocals with the audience. Right?
Interesting.
Just saying.
Beyond the Lens, y'all.
Beyond the lens.
And Beyond the Woods is sinking.
Because no one's beyond it yet.
We may be. I don't think you are, but it's okay. I'm not gonna dim your light. Not today.
Anyways, the Revolt Summit. Let's stay on topic.
All right. Can I say I like your kicks, and then we talk about the Revolt Summit?
Y'all like my kicks?
You know that's my color right here.
Yeah, I know, right? Just in time for fall, baby. There's a couple weeks.
Oh no, your feet smaller than mine. Don't worry about it.
So what you think about the Revolt Summit and its in entirety?
A
lot of things came from that.
Yeah, quite a few things came from that. I saw, the piece, the hour-long piece that's been recorded and is available for you to watch on YouTube. So when
It
you're
sure
done
is.
watching us, you can click on over and to Revolt TV and check it out.
Yep.
I think it was a great discussion amongst people who all had different points of view and perspectives about Black America, about politics, about everything.
Right.
However, I do believe that it was productive dialogue in the end.
Me too.
At least for me, it was. I was able to pull. I just realized what you just did. I was able to pull something from all of them. I know people were very quick or have been very quick to dismiss Candace.
Yep.
But
and that light-skinned chick. I don't know her name.
But she brought some good points. One of whose name was Tamika. But
Tamika was the black one. Black girl. She was the black
Yeah,
girl.
they were all black.
I mean, the darker skinned black woman to the left.
This is not going good. The one on the very end, on the far left.
When I say black, I really meant like black. Black. That's what you should have known that.
Okay.
Because the other two women on the panel wasn't.
Oh, you mean like they weren't like...
Essentially, to us as a society, pro-black.
I can't take away their blackness because they don't represent.
Oh, no. I'm not saying like they're
standpoint.
not black.
Oh.
I'm not in color. I'm talking about like pro-black.
I mean,
but it's good. This is good for us to learn our communication.
Still, I think black people can be Republicans. I think
Oh,
they can
yeah,
be
I agree.
Democrat. I think they can be liberal. I think they can be conservative.
Right. I think Candace knew her audience.
I think she knew who her audience wasn't as well too. Anywho, overall it was productive.
Right.
I do believe that there were moments where everybody probably but Killer Mike probably got a little out. Well, the two on the end.
Steve, I remember his name, the one in the yellow.
Steve did all right.
He didn't give me no input.
He gave some where he was
about
able
technology
to,
and kids.
But everybody else was a little bit, had a few more poignant points.
Okay.
So he kind of got overshadowed.
Okay.
Anyway, y'all go check it out for yourselves.
Wait, can I say what I thought about it?
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say that's all I have to say about it. D, what do you have to say about it?
I think that it was highly productive in the fact that we need those various voices out there because we're not all going to agree on the same things.
Right.
They were all speaking from us from different perspectives.
Yes.
So, and they're in the place of power to do so. They
Yes.
weren't invited on the panel because they ain't shit. Like, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, even
Right.
though they spew different things, and we may not agree with everything that they do, they have positioned themselves to be our voice, right?
Right.
Because there are people that agree with Candace, and I can
Yes.
say that she made valid points.
Right.
But I think she knew her audience, and she didn't come in with some of that bullshit she does speak about. On the other end, I think to have Killer Mike on the panel, regardless, was enlightening for everybody because he did a fair job, and that's where I try to position myself, is doing a fair job at explaining how we can meet in the middle.
Right. Right.
So, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about that Revolt talk. I think it's the only one that's on. I think it's the only one that's on there. I watched it today in its entirety.
The one with Diddy and his kids wasn't on there?
I didn't see that
Okay.
one. But I know that he was up there. I know that they were talking about QPC, quality control. I don't know the acronym, but quality control. They was up there. Lil Yachty. So there's a bunch of panel discussions that they had, and I'm just mad that I didn't plan accordingly to go, because that would have been a great time to go to Atlanta and really, like, that's a dope event to be at.
It was one of those things that I normally follow Revolt, and what I was expecting was for them to have their normal conference in Miami towards the end of the year, and they didn't do that. They broke it out into this summit, which is cool.
Right.
It's just something to look forward to next year. Because I'm with you. I would have loved to have been there, but by the time I figured out really what was going on,
Right.
I didn't have enough time to plan.
Right.
What else do we have on our?
So, Top Boy.
Yeah.
What you think?
Drake. Cool. I know I didn't explain that very well. So, Drake is one of the people that is responsible for bringing Top Boy
Yes.
to Netflix,
Right.
essentially. And I think for the most part, I enjoy a lot of what we would consider foreign productions. And the only thing is that for me is learning the slang that they're using and like how it, like what word would we use instead
In place
of
of
this
that,
word,
yeah.
so I can better understand the dialogue. But overall, I mean, you get the gist of what's going on.
How many episodes you watched?
Just one.
Okay, I watched one today at work. And let me tell you, I was like, wait, we going from British accents to Jamaican accents? And I was like,
So, just like how we're multicultural in the U.S., we got the African diaspora in the U.K. And so-
well, I'm not saying that it wasn't, but they was literally in Jamaica, so I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, okay.
So in the first episode, the pilot episode, they take you through different what did they call it? Locations, I would say. Before, I guess they all put them in one place. I see that that's where it's going. But it was hard for me because it's just not a dialect that you hear all the time.
Right.
So you have
Right.
to truly be paying attention. You have to have subtitles on if you're one of us. If you're not,
That
then
part.
then you're probably good. But I think the innuendos and them, the slang, because and it's all slang too. So it's just something. I thought the storyline was pretty well done, if I say so. So I'm looking. I might watch the second episode. I might. But it's my show, my work show. So
Another storyline that's got me intrigued that I wasn't sure if I was gonna like, Wu-Tang.
oh, I was gonna go to the next Netflix, but okay, Wu-Tang. What you think? You been watching it?
I've been watching it. I got 2 episodes in, and I purposely stopped before watching episode 3 because I at least want to be able to watch 2 more episodes back to back. So I'm waiting on, or I guess
How many of them are there?
I don't know. They're actually releasing it week by week, like
Really?
Yeah, even though it's on Hulu, but they releasing them weekly.
So it's a show?
It's a show. It's a saga.
A saga.
It's how they're that's the title, the Wu-Tang Saga.
Huh, interesting. I haven't checked it out, but I have acquired Hulu, so
Ooh.
I'm starting to leverage all my Thank you. It does look interesting, and I've heard great reviews thus far, so I may check it out. I'm not hip to the Hulu life yet, like the Hulu shows, you know.
Okay.
So it makes it. I feel like I'm cheating on Netflix.
For anyone else who is maybe not well versed in Hulu, Hulu is cable on demand. So majority of the shows that you would watch on your basic cable networks, ABC, Fox, NBC, FX, whatever, those shows, some of them, the better ones, make it to Hulu, and then you're just able to watch it. So let's say your favorite show on cable comes out on Tuesday night. It will be available on Hulu Wednesday morning. And from then on, it's just about
how long they have the rights to keep it on there, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So for me, I like Hulu because I don't keep up with who's on what night. I just pick a night in the week that I'm like, I want to catch up on my Hulu stuff, and then I go through there and watch a few shows and wait for some more stuff to come up another week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about Styling Hollywood? Bringing it back to the Netflix show.
Bringing it back to Netflix. Netflix is killing it right now. Styling Hollywood is amazing. I don't use those big words often to describe things. And I don't mean big words like SAT. I mean like I normally just say stuff. It's okay. It's cool. It's good. Styling Hollywood is amazing.
It is amazing because it shows two black men as they would
queer black men.
Black Boy Joy.
Yeah.
Pretty much running Hollywood in their own lane.
Yeah,
you know
their
what I'm
industry.
saying? In their industry. And it's really good to see that, like, it's not toxic and it's not like male bashing or women bashing. They really uplift the black woman while being two queer men who are married. They have the same relationship issues as a heterosexual couple. I was definitely super into it. I thought it was gonna be my work TV show, but it turned into a at-home show.
I wasn't prepared to watch all 8 episodes in pretty much a 24-hour time span.
Right.
But I did. Now I'm upset.
Because it's over.
Who knows how long it's going to take before it comes back. But I'm sure they will get renewed. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that they'll pick up another season.
You know what I was super impressed with? The visuals. Like, whoever edited it and whoever just filmed it, that production team is phenomenal. Like the choice of the transitions, like everything
for
was
a reality show.
It was like so cinematic, but in a reality, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it.
And I also like how the episodes just pick up from the end. You're like, oh. And as soon as the next episode starts, it picks up from that point. Like, I don't have to watch another storyline before getting into what happened with
because there was no other storyline. You know, really.
I mean, like, let's say the stuff that was going on with the Dare and his assistant. If the cliffhanger was at the end of episode 4, it picked right back up with that at episode 5 versus going on to seeing what's happening with Jason or something. That's what I mean by that.
It just gave a better light to reality TV for our culture.
I agree.
And please check it out. It's on Netflix, everybody. But to wrap up Beyond the Lens, we have one more thing to talk about.
While we go to break, or before we go to break, the reason why we're playing this new record with Wale, A$AP Ferg, and Buddy, The Godfather of Harlem is coming to Epix, featuring the great Forrest Whitaker. And I've watched the trailer. I've watched the extended trailer. It's definitely something that I'm into just because, I mean, it's gangsta mafia. It's about Bumpy Johnson, we'll call him a drug dealer for lack of better words, but obviously he was more than that. So stay tuned. September 29th, it'll be available on Epix. If you have cable, you should be able to talk to your cable provider to get it. If you don't have cable, don't worry. Epix has an app. Of course they do, right? And you can subscribe. I think it's like $4 or $5 a month. So anyway,
they want all our coins.
Yeah, everybody want our coins. We're going to let this record ride, y'all, and we'll be back with more creative culture.
We leave it whatever we come for. Who do you think you're talking to? I'm not the one you run into.
Look, I'm sick of these niggas, I'm tired, I've really been trying to hide the feeling I live with my mind. I'm missing my ammunition, is infinite, y'all about to trigger me, boom. Valorant has stepped in the room, y'all ain't accepting the truth, yeah. I'm at the top of my class, man, take a helicopter to my reunion, Really, I'm about to be cut though, cause really I don't give a fuck though. Silly bitches get they cell blocked for being phony, I ain't guts though. Got it all off the muscle, Dig Dug, what's the shovel? Can I get 7 hallelujahs, God good, this ain't luck, no.
I'm maneuver, I'm the driver and the shooter. Out here, nigga, you can lose your soul. Be careful, nigga, you better be humble. We leave it whatever we come for. Who do you think you're talking to? I'm not the one you run into.
I want it all, know it's a risk. I want a ball, I want a bliss. You on my way, you better get hit. Power and money come over a bitch. Sit at the table and talk to the clique. I got a plan, we could get rich. Bigger than corners and making a pitch. Bigger than bottles and chipping the brick. I'm in the mix, 30 assists. We can make hits, get from the lips. Couple of models, we shaking their hips. Going full throttle, cause I'm with the shits. Nobody else doing bigger than this.
Her friend got her height. Her friend got her height. Her friend got her height. Shawty off the Hennessy. Party, party, party on a Tuesday. My city, we litty on the weekdays. Her whole squad twerking and they yelling, ayy. We smoking gas. She shaking her ass. Told my homie do the dash. Take off. This shit busting out. Bring the city out. Whole gang with me and we showing out. Drop the top. Sundress weather in the parking lot. Feeling like Wayne when the block was hot. All the bad bitches in the parking lot. Her friend got her height. Her friend got her height. Her friend got her height.
Hey, welcome back, everybody.
And we back.
We are Creative Culture. If you didn't know that before, I thought I should just tell you guys.
It's cool to reiterate.
Right. So we are
You
now.
want to introduce yourself again?
Oh yeah, as you can tell, it's _ D Woods.
I'm not reintroducing myself.
So you set me up.
I did.
It's
Now
like
in rotation.
throwing a lob and then go and block my shot. That shit sucks. Why would you do
You got
that?
your shot in.
Oh, anyways, here we go. We're now in rotation, everyone. Mahalia. Is that not her name?
Oh, did you have to say it like that? Like it needed so
Because
much
it's that
extra
H
on
that
it?
I don't get, but okay.
Mahalia? You don't remember
It's like
Mahalia Jackson?
Mahalia. Who's Mahalia Jackson? School me, lady. Come on, let's talk about it.
Now you got me feeling like I'm not even saying the lady's name correctly.
Who's Mahalia Jackson?
An older singer.
Oh, I thought she was she was one of the Jackson sisters.
No.
She your cousin?
Way older than them.
Oh.
Mostly known for like her gospel singing.
Oh, I never heard of Mahalia Jackson. But let's talk about Mahalia.
Right.
No last name.
Young artist from the UK. New project, Love and Compromise. Obviously, it's filled with themes that we're all well versed on. If you've been in any sort of relationship, you know it's going to be some give and some take, some love and some hate. I mean, in the end, you know, if it's worth it, you'll compromise.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of it. But she got some pretty cool records on there, and some features. One with LMI. I don't know why I always question that MAI, like how I'm supposed to pronounce that.
That's just how I question Mahalia.
But you're still saying it right. But it don't matter. Well, somewhat right. Your inflection is like, I don't know why you keep wanting to punch that.
Because it's like, man, hell yeah.
That's how you feel about it.
Oh, lady laughing my shit. That's why I say it like that. Because in my head, I'm saying, man, hell yeah. Just so I know it's Mahalia.
Okay, I mean, if that's how you got that, that's cool. Like I said, this is her second full project. It's actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. I mean, from top to bottom, I can't say that there's a record on the project that I was just like, ugh, why is that here? she's pretty talented at the end of the day. And I think it was a good subject, so to speak. I think it was good subject matter. You go through the ups and the downs, just like we've all been through ups and downs in relationships. She's got a record on there, I Wish I Missed My Ex. Because, you know, there are times where you kind of go back and forth with your ex or whatever the case may be, and one person gets over it and the other person still ain't over it. And I think in that case, maybe you can shed light on that. If you're in a position to say, I wish I missed my ex, it's mostly because, like, you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. You know, you wish the feelings were still there or whatever, but it just ain't. What would your take on something like that be?
Not the album. My take on Missing My Ex.
If somebody says, I wish I missed my ex, what's your take on
that? I wish I missed my ex. Sounds like you just trying to be nice.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like
you don't
that's
want
just a weird statement. That's a weird statement. Like, are you telling me, like, your ex's mom? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like who you talking to?
Who you talking to that you need to say that, I wish I missed my ex?
Maybe you're talking to yourself.
Maybe you, like, consciously wasn't or emotionally wasn't really there in the relationship, and you don't feel anything, and you're really numb in where you are. So I can see you saying it even to yourself, like, I wish I missed my ex, but I have no capacity to feel right now. Oh, shit, that was so deep.
I think it's the arm crossing and all this extra afterwards. Like, you felt that, didn't you?
I did, but about her album, I liked it.
Okay.
It wasn't memorable. However, I liked it.
How many times did you listen to it? Did
you
give it the
2, 3? My 3? Like, no, I didn't give it the, like, it didn't make it home and it didn't make it in the car. However, no, it did make it in the car. I liked the LMA joint.
Okay.
Yes. But the rest of it was good sonically. Like, I have no issues with the album. It just wasn't, like, the way music works right now is so rapid that it's hard for me. If it don't stick, it don't stick. Yeah. You know? So, but I'm not going to shit on it because I don't think it was bad. I just didn't feel like it stuck. So, yeah, thank you, Mahalia, for your second track. Now, I have a question to you, lady, especially because you mentioned the UK rappers. Or, I'm sorry.
Artists.
See, I knew that's where I was going. I was foreshadowing everybody. So Idris Elba said on Hot Ones, while he was eating them hot-ass wings, he said that now, because their culture of music, of hip-hop in the UK is so vast and so diverse, and they have multiple artists, he was like, we don't need to listen to American music anymore because we have our own thing. Now, mind you, I was watching Top Boy today, and they was talking about gotta get a rack. And I was like, thinking of this same line it just said, and I was like, well, if y'all don't fucking need us, don't use the motherfucking word rack. That is not, culturally, that is our shit.
How do we know?
Who the fuck else saying rack?
No. Here's the thing. And only reason I said how do we know, I'm just playing devil's advocate. This is something you do often, right?
Don't take my shit.
Your favorite artist is the queen, and I do mean the queen of recreating some shit.
That's like Diddy. That's like a lot of people.
Okay. So my point is that when they bring it to us, and it could sound so original in our ears when they say it, particularly in a Houston accent, that we might think it's original if we haven't done any research or if we're not culturally aware of how other people in other parts of the world talk or maneuver or whatever.
I'm glad you're throwing shade at Beyonce, because that brings me to tell everybody that tonight, while we are here, everybody else is probably watching Making the Gift, which is premiering on ABC right now. Beyonce released it yesterday saying it was dropping today, and I'm sure everybody dropped everything other than us.
What? what gift are we making? 'Cause
The
I
gift
didn't get
is
that
the gift
announcement.
is the album
Okay.
that she made for the Lion King. So it's making the gift. Yeah. Yeah, Beyonce presents Making the Gift or something like that.
So is this gonna be available on Hulu?
I hope so tomorrow. When you told me that, I was like, man, maybe it'll be available tomorrow.
Come on, Hulu.
Writing down all
Don't
the
let
notes.
D Woods down. Because I don't mind missing it. I'll catch some clips or something on YouTube where I'm
Right.
pretty sure people will
Right.
have some stuff floating on Instagram. I'll catch little sound bites. But we got to be careful with sound bites. I'm sorry, this is kind of taking y'all all over the place
Right.
with
We'll
now
circle back.
rotation. But the Revolt Summit, you
Mm-hmm.
know, they were talking about sound bites and how we really got to do our research and be more educated.
I wrote down all the books that he mentioned.
Those weren't books.
I was talking about Killer Mike. They weren't books?
Those are just people. He just wants you to study. Like,
Oh, I thought
their
they
work.
had books.
Marcus Garvey does have a book, but I think he has multiple ones that you
That's the only reason I said books, because I assumed that when he said, he was like, go read up on.
read up on.
Yeah, I know, but to me, like,
Yeah.
I'm already in book flow,
you
so I
gotta,
was,
okay, we'll start with your Wikipedia. Marcus Garvey, Thomas Sowell, who else did he say? Of course, Elijah Muhammad.
I wrote them down as opposed to putting them in my notes. Shame on me.
It's all good. Y'all gonna go check out the video anyway, right?
Probably,
Yeah.
most likely. So circling back to this UK rapper thing, how do you feel about him saying that they don't need to listen to us anymore? American hip hop music.
All right. Well, hopefully y'all don't soundbite this, but he's an idiot. That doesn't make sense. I mean, well, it's hard for me to share that perspective because I'm a creative.
Right.
And there are a lot of things that influence my creativity, and I'm not going to shut off something from another culture or something that brings about another perspective.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, oh, I'm good over here with my crew or my clique or whatever. Like, if I'm surrounded by 5 people who think and act and do like me, I'm good with this. I don't need any other outside influence. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And it also doesn't make sense that Idris would say it, because isn't he a DJ
Yes.
in his spare time?
Maybe he was
You think?
sarcastically joking. Maybe I just
Let's just take it as being
I'm
sarcastic.
I hope so. But that's kind of all I have for now in rotation. There's this meditation thing that Janae Aiko put out this week. I don't know if you saw it or came across it. It's called Tiger Protection. Manifest. Mantra. So it's her. I don't know what the bowl thing is, but it's like her going, doom,
Okay.
and then.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she was doing.
That's
But
it?
she's singing through it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
She's singing through it. So it sounded like she was doing it. Like it's called, I thought it said tiger. It say trigger. It's a trigger protection mantra.
Fundamental, guys.
I just replaced some of the letters.
No, you took some out. Quite a few out.
No.
We're
Trigger
moving
and
on.
tiger?
I know what you did. What you did, featuring LMA. And who?
And Mahalia.
We go. Shit.
We're going to be right back.
Thank you.
We're going to be right back with Creative Culture, Lady LYFE, and D Woods. We'll see you guys soon.
I know. Tell me why you lie. Tell me why. I don't know what to call. I don't know what to call. What you did. Yeah, you know I love you, but I can't forgive it. You could tell me stay, but I have to go. 'Cause I would not expect someone to stay around if I let them down. Oh, it's funny how right when I let my guard down, you play around. And no, not this time, we can't hate shit out. It's too late for me to stay. I wish all the things you say was what your behavior display. No, I could've done without lies. And although I know love is blind, this just don't feel right. Ain't no more
rise is important. Sitting high with the uniform, barking orders, the man of order. And I'm scared that I talk too much about what I think's going on. I got away with this, they might drag me away for this. Put me in a cage for this, I might pay for this. I just say what I want like I'm made for this. But I'm afraid some days I might be wrong. Maybe that's why me and Mike get along. Hey, not from the same part of town, but we both hear the same sound coming. Woo! And it sounds like war. Woo! And it breaks our hearts. When I started this band, didn't have no plans, didn't see no arc. Just run with the crowd, have a couple laughs, make a buck and dash, yeah. Get a little dap like, yeah, I'm the fucking man, yeah. Maybe give a little back like, yeah, I do what I can. It's all talk and smoke till the truth starts scheming. Can't contain it, it's stained for y'all demons. Talk cleaning, bomb hospitals. So I speak with the foulest mouth possible. And I drink like a Vulcan, losing all faith in the logical. I will not be confused with docile, I'm free, motherfucker.
I'm in my happy place. Welcome back, welcome back. I'm in my happy place. What'd you do? What'd you do, lady? I mean, what's up?
Well, we're going to continue recording anyway.
Right, so possibly, I don't know what happened visually, but audibly,
we still here.
audibly, we are still here. So we are in Keys to Life, where Lady LYFE brings us life to the fullest extent.
Yeah, you just extent, huh? Interesting.
What?
No, just extent starts with an E as well. It's live your fullest every day, but you just brought something new. I might play it with that a little bit. Don't worry about it. We're moving on. Keys to Life.
Are you still in my intellectual property right now?
Nope, I didn't say that.
He was like, I would do something. Oh, okay. Come on. Bring it to me, lady.
So one thing that I thought that Killer Mike said that I wholeheartedly believe in during the summit was, as he was talking about how everybody was going back and forth, he brought about the fact that it was kind of problematic because now we're in a place of, arguing Democrat versus Republican. He was like, all I hear is a bunch of free people arguing over whose master is better. And so he went on to go, and pretty much lay down the foundation of what he believed we should be doing that would be a little bit more productive. Yeah. But at the end of his rant, he said, I say, kill your masters and get your own shit. And I took it to mean so much more than the context in which he said it.
Because you're an architect.
Okay.
I'm a visionary.
I'll take that. I'm gonna have to look up that visionary piece. I can't. I don't know if I'm fully accepting that at the moment.
Let me live.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
God damn it. Go ahead.
Visionary.
Finish.
So kill your masters and get your own shit. But the first part about kill your masters, I know he was talking about like the idea of defying authority, but I also look at from a standpoint of creatives and anybody who is trying to build something, killing your masters could be anything that you have given power to, whether that's fear, whether that's doubt, whether that's overanalyzing,
whether
procrastination,
it's your ego.
Those things become masters as well, and they kind of hinder us from being able to get our own shit or to get our shit together. Yeah, I mean, oh, you agree? You doing?
I'm trying not to talk. I'm trying to let you talk and me
so
applaud you in your
speech. I'm gonna say this, and then you can.
Okay.
And then we'll continue the dialogue.
Okay.
So the concept is being able to bring anything that you perceive as powerful to its knees. Like we're going to war at this point, and sometimes it could be mental war. Sometimes it could be psychological. I mean, for most of our black community, it's financial. But at the end of the day, you got the power to do what you got to do, you know what I mean? And to own your shit.
Yes. that resonated with me so much because today was such a difficult day mentally and mentally with it being financially and it's just a lot of things are coming to light with you just saying that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm thinking of this app. What is the app called? Passion, Purpose. What is it called? Pattern. The Pattern app also relayed the message for it'd be reading me every 2 seconds.
Yo. So it's so funny that you mentioned that. I had a good friend, I'll be honest, it's my ex, who told me to check it out, right? Because they're really into that kind of stuff.
I'm listening.
And we normally have good dialogue about this kind of stuff. So anyway, I got it, and then I just kind of put it to the side.
Yeah.
And then I brought it back into my life maybe about a month ago.
It'd be reading the shit out of you, boy.
And was like, I need to check this out more often because I didn't realize like all the little pieces that was available, you know.
Yeah, it can read your
app.
friends. You got to add me because it'll tell you about me on the app.
I'm sure gonna add your ass.
So you know how to prepare for me.
So technically I've added people who don't know that they've been added because I ask people questions like, when's your birthday? Do you know what time you were born? That kind of stuff. And I just start inputting stuff. So you can do it manually or you can
just
get permission.
Yeah. Interesting.
Anywho, so
you're doing too much, lady. Why you inputting all that information?
So it's funny because one of my best friends, I was talking to her today about some stuff, and we got off the phone, and then like maybe 2 minutes later, she texted me and was like, "Get this app." She said exactly what you said. She was like, "Girl, it'd be telling me my whole life story like every time." Right. And I was like, "I have this app.
Right.
Why didn't?" So I went to it, and guess what? It read the shit out of me today.
Anyways, let me go back to the topic at hand about killing your masters.
We're not at the... Okay.
Well, because I was only bringing up the pattern because it allows us to, whether you believe in whatever you believe, it gives us some kind of insight on astrologically how we're feeling and how we're being pulled by the universe, essentially.
The moon, the stars,
yep.
all that stuff.
Numerology as well. So if you know your what is
your date of birth,
your number,
your place of birth, and your time of birth, that helps you, but also knowing your
what
all is your date of birth that actually gives you your power number, your whatever you want to call it, super number. I don't know.
So the killing your masters and like what brings you to your knees.
My bad.
No. I'm just trying to get it out because I did take us down that rabbit hole. I'm trying to pull out at the same time. Look, like, come on, we can do it.
Kill that master.
Kill that master
of distraction.
So the ego.
Ooh.
And
I'm kind of on that shit too.
The
I realized I was arrogant last week.
So my ego, I suppress it and not think it's there because I do play devil's advocate a lot of the times. However, a lot of things that go on throughout the day, throughout my life, I learned that I am a slave to my ego. Like, I may say that I don't approve or I don't need the approval of others, but I'm in a position where I need the approval of others to elevate myself.
You don't say.
And it's just a lot of things came to me today of clarity about my ego, about things that were in my past that I didn't. I thought I was good. I was past, ironically, but I wasn't, or I'm not. You know, I still have the ego in which that I was asked this weekend, which is on topic. I was asked this weekend, what is my weakness? And I never ever think I have one weakness. Even if I've been asked in an interview, I have to make it up because, like, initially, I don't know what my weakness is, right? So when I was asked that question, I said that I care too much. I care too much about everything. Like, I care too much about explaining myself to others.
Right.
I care too much about, you needed to know how I feel. But I'm only telling you because I want you to know, not because you need to know. So I think the second that I kill my ego, and I think this goes for all of us, and you kill the ego inside of you, that's how you prosper, or you sprout, or that's growth, because innately we have this thing that makes us, it's one thing from being confident
Yeah.
to, what's the other word I want to use? To,
Being arrogant.
arrogant. And
that's
it's
where I
not.
was at.
And I think I told that line very thinly. Personally, like, I may not come across that way sometimes, but I like to just share with you guys that, to me, my master is my ego. So that is something that I'm working on.
So how has that kept you from being able to create or to build or to own your shit?
I'm a master procrastinator. Like, I use, and the highlight this from the beginning of the episode to now was personal. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very strategic about planning everything
Yeah.
and not doing shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking to me, essentially. So, and that's really what the show is. It's me, like, giving myself advice. It's really been difficult for me to pull myself out of that procrastination, because I feel like I'm doing what I need to do by preparation. By consistently writing
So
down all the goals
it's
and
some
doing
feel good moment.
right. And that's why I've learned to not share all the things that I do with other people, all the milestones, because psychologically, when you share those things and you get approval, your mind doesn't know the difference between you actually doing it
Right.
and you not fucking doing it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, like, it was cool for me to say, oh, somebody reached out for me to take a class. I tell you, and you're like, that's dope. I tell 10 other people, my mind think I already fucking did it, and I ain't did shit. I ain't even made a lesson plan. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get through that whole, and I believe that we have to kill our masters within
Yes.
to then kill the masters without.
Totally agree. Well said. I would clap if I had both hands available. That was a good wrap up.
Thank you, lady.
I like that.
Yes, so I just want everybody to challenge themselves in the best way possible. We take a lot of things, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, but we don't apply a lot of pressure too, if you understand what I'm saying. You feel me?
Yeah, pressure's gonna either bust pipes or make diamonds.
Right.
And we
right.
want y'all to shine, right?
Right.
Tell me where to find you.
Well, you can find your girl at ITS_D Woods. That is me. You can find me anywhere. Just Google "It's D Woods" and I think you'll find me. Not sure.
A lot of hand gestures over there. You're making me nervous. My PTSD just kicked in. The Lady LYFE. Just read the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. And if you follow us on Creative Culture Podcast, y'all know where to find us.
CR8V Culture, right?
I think that's it.
All right, so this is No Stones, Kid Ink, featuring Casey Veggies. We're going to ride out to this record. Also, remember that life is what you make it.
You.
Kill your masters, then begin to dream, design, and create it. See y'all next week.
Peace.
We started from the bottom, that shit grow. Finally caught my groove, forever that's the move. Everybody showing out in my section. All these bitches tryna get our attention. One more shot, I know I should not mix this. Say it's getting late, but we see time different. I ain't put no stones in my protect. Tryna show you different kind of flicks. Damn, I think I need a little shot of sex. We gon' keep it going, night to the morning. Yeah, I need hundreds on top of hundreds. Oh yeah, I can tell they really don't love me. Oh yeah, I ran my bag up, now she love it. Oh yeah, these niggas mad ain't getting no money. she a bad one, but I make her faint. I got some rain like we came in a tank. I stay down up in this game. I done seen real niggas go insane. I can tell they don't feel my pain. I get the cash in a whole nother lane. I got the money and set fuck the fame. Might got the foreign and blow out the brain. Listen how they want me to make her my main. Baby so different, I'm feeling the same. I might just plain Jane that protect. When I touch, she gon' get wet. When I leave, she get upset. When I get back, she know what's next. Ain't no flex. Everybody showing out in my section. All these bitches tryna get attention.